Hello everyone and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode of Friday Night Explore, we're finally going to explore Izzet Phoenix. So with the new inclusion of Treasure Cruise, Izzet Phoenix got a lot better. The last time I played this, it was Demir Phoenix, or technically Grixis, but the only red we had was the Arclight. Now we're gonna try the blue-red version, no black, but we do still have a little bit of disruption in the term of, or in the case of Unlicensed Hearse. I really want to try this deck because I saw a deck list that included Unlicensed Hearse, one of my favorite cards from New Capenna that really doesn't get a lot of love, but I feel like it's so good because it is it's graveyard hate, right? Anti-graveyard synergy, which a lot of decks nowadays really hope to get off. And when we don't have mono green devotions as rampant, we don't get blown up as easily. So this is why the Unlicensed Hearse isn't included in the deck. Now let's talk about the whole deck list. We have a lot of instant sorcery because obviously Arclight Phoenix is to try to filter out and then get that Phoenix casted, or get that Phoenix trigger from the graveyard by casting 3 instant sorcery spells before we attack. And then we just hit them with the Phoenix and win game that way. The deck also runs cards like Ledger Shredder, cards like Picklock Prankster. Sorry, can't talk. And then cards like Charter a Course. So the whole deck looks like this. In the early game, we got Consider, 4 off, 4 Opt, 4 Sleight of Hands, 1 Spell Pierce, 4 Fiery Impulse, and 4 Lightning Axe. We got a lot of 1-drops basically to either draw cards or deal damage. What's great about some of these cards, like Lightning Axe, is that we discard a card, but we can discard our Arclight Phoenix. We don't want that in our hand. We want that in a graveyard so that we can get it back by its triggered ability. And then we also want a big graveyard so that we can Treasure Cruise, which is also why we have 4 2-casts in terms of Charter the Course, draw 2 cards, then discard a card unless we attack this turn. That's pretty good as long as we can get to attack. 1 Jwari Disruption just as a gotcha counterspell, and then 2 Ledger Shredders. A lot of decks runs 4 Ledger Shredder. I'm still not certain how good Ledger Shredder is. It's really good if you're on the play, but when you're on the draw, it's really coming back from behind a lot of scenarios, and I'm not sure that's good enough. Whereas if we can just get the Arclight to trigger, that might be good enough. That's why there's only 2 offs. You can definitely run 4 of this and maybe run 2 Charter Course or run other cards. We also have 2 Unlicensed Hearse, and then go to the 4 Arclight Phoenix for attacker, and then 4 Treasure Cruise for that card draw. The land base is very precarious because we only have 18 lands in a deck. We're very fast, very low to the ground. So 18 lands if you don't count a Jwari Disruption. Jwari will make it the 19th land, but the rest of the deck is 18 lands total. 2 Hall the Storm Giant. We can get that 7/7 in. That would be great, but chances are we won't. We also have 2 Island, 1 Otawara, 4 Riverglide Pathway, 4 Shivan Reef, 2 Spirebluff Canal, 2 Steam Vents, and then 1 Stormcarved Coast. Now, this is a little bit tricky of a land base because what I want to have is 4 Steam Vent, 4 Spirebluff Canal, and not these lands. But I don't have those. I only have 2 each. So I'm not gonna go craft these as of now. That's why they're 2 off in the deck. And I have these ping lands, which is not great. We're gonna die because of ping lands. And then these pathway lands, which is a choice that we gotta have to make. In addition to that, we only run 1 Stormcarved Coast. That's very important. Do not run more than 1 Stormcarved Coast because Arena likes to give you your tap lands in your opening hand. So you don't want to have too many in your hand or you're going to lose every game. So that's why this is only 1 off in the deck. Very important. Only run 1 off in your deck. That's the whole deck list. Now I'm going to go ahead and try it out, see if this deck merits any wins. Hopefully it does. There's a lot of ways to play Izzet Phoenix nowadays in Explorer, and I'm not certain any one way is the right way. There are several renditions of the deck that could work. Basically, whatever you throw together, as long as you have 4 Arclight Phoenix and 4 Treasure Cruise and all the other card draw 1-drops, you're probably gonna get a decent enough Phoenix deck. Now, but Explorer, however, has been kind of just ramped up like crazy in the past year or so. To an extent that, well, Explorer really came out in just like, what, 2-3 years? Well, I should say Pioneer only came out 2-3 years ago. And now, Explorer, which is Pioneer and Arena, only really got released a year, maybe a year and a half ago. I don't remember the years. But after it got released, it just got broken. It's just, everybody's trying to win turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. You don't win that fast, but you'll get to a board state where you practically won that fast. So we're gonna go first. We got Hall and then some lands. So I'm gonna keep. Their Yorion, which is I don't like that. I'm kind of scared. Let's see what their Yorion does. We get 2 Hall of the Storm Giant in turn 1 and turn 2. So there's that. We can definitely charter a course. That's probably better than Unlicensed Hearse that doesn't do anything. So let's charter. Draw 2 cards, discard a card. Unless we have attack this turn. How important is our Hearse though? Alright, we got a lot of lands. Let's just drop the lands. They drop a land. Okay, so let's Ledger Shredder. And then we can consider. That way we'll Surveil. I don't want this land, but good enough to have another land in my hand. Do I want this in my hand? No, I don't. I have a Treasure Cruise, so the more things in the graveyard, the better our Treasure Cruise gets. There's already 5 in the graveyard. Temporary lockdown, okay. Annoying, but it is what it is. We drop our Shivan Reef. There's 5 in the graveyard, so let's cast our Charter of Course. Draw 2 cards, and we'll discard a card. We can discard probably the Fiery Impulse. Is it the Fiery Impulse, or is it another Unlicensed Hearse? I don't know what he does with his graveyard. It's a Yorion deck. He probably is not going to look at his graveyard intensively. So let's drop the Hearse. How many? 7. This will cost 1, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Draw 3 cards. And then we can Sleight of Hands again. It's a sorcery, so let's do it right now. You know, one of these days we'll get our Phoenix. But probably in like 1,000 years. Fable Passage. We shock this in first? We'll shock this in. This is an instant, so we don't need to play it right now. This is a sorcery, and it doesn't do much, so we'll play it and see if he wants to make us discard. Oh boy. This is a horrendous opener, honestly. Like, all the cards I don't want, they're in my hand, so... That was 2, right? That was 2. I could Prankster, that would be 3. And maybe he'll counter it. Maybe he'll exile my thing. Mythic Championship 2019. Your sleeves are boring me. Memory Deluge. I can't counter it. There's a lot of cards in this deck that might be good against a Memory Deluge, but not what we have right now. I did exile my Hearse. There is that I gave up on, which, I mean, it's annoying, but I don't actually think we have a chance. After drawing 35... We drew 25 cards, not a single Phoenix. So we can't tempo at all. And because of that, we're going to lose this game. Very heartbreaking turn of events, but it is what it is. There's a Phoenix. Yikes. Alright, well, we can play a lot of these spells, so... Mill 1. We'll get the Treasure Cruise to our hand. How many do I have? 11. Ooh. Okay, let's start exiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't submit 8 anyways. Okay, let me draw 3. Does let me draw 3. Alright, now how many I have? 5. Don't really have a 1-drop anymore, so I guess... So I have 23 cards left. Alright, let's prank. You can counter the prank, but I'm gonna get 2 Phoenix out. That's an opt. Yeah, this is a turn 5, deal 6 damage. If he sunfalls me, I'm just gonna quit. That's they got their draws. You could also have Wandering Emperor there. Wandering Emperor is slightly better for me because I can just kill my Phoenix, but I guess the cops agree with me. Leyline Binding. What are they binding? Oh no, you don't. Okay. Gotta discard a card. The Canal. He's gonna have Farewell here, because that's also gonna make me sad. He buys Urian. Buys Urian just so that he can flash back the Leyline Binding. Well, I am pretty much out of cards at this point, so maybe we'll pick some more pockets. Lightning Axe. Cruise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Draw 3. Maybe I'll get my Spell Pierce here. I do. Alright, so that means I can charter a course and then discard my... How many cards I have left? 11. Oh boy, I'm so scared right now. I haven't attacked yet. We'll discard the Arclight Phoenix. That's 3, right? Did I cast 3? I cast a Pocket, Treasure Cruise, and then Charter the Course. We get 4 triggers of Arclight Phoenix. So that's 12 damage. Yep. Alright, time to discard. Sure. Get your lands. How many cards would I have to discard here? Pass to enter. Discard 2 cards. Alright, so I don't need the Sleight of Hands because that's already... and then I don't need another Lightning Axe. Sunfall. Oh, look at that. Spell Pierce. Okay. Well, we got it. We won. What the heck was that? Sunfall. That one Spell Pierce in our deck really helped us fight that Urian deck. That was crazy. We didn't draw any Phoenix for like 25 turns. Then we got it. All right, next game. I guess, you know, tossing my Unlicensed Hearse was right, because they're not really a Graveyard Synergy deck, and I'm not really looking to exile their Memory Deluge there. I'm not getting very far with that. You go first. Alright, we got a Phoenix, we get to go first. We got Ledger Shredder and 2 lands. This is a beautiful hand. Do we want to opt there turn 1? I probably don't. I think I'm going to drop this on red. Out of a Fire Impulse in case they have, you know, like a Mana Dork or something. I don't think I need to do that, but just in case, right? Oh, mill deck. Mill deck. Okay. Not a good idea to fight us. Honestly, just not a good idea to fight us with a mill deck. I gotta say, maybe they have Exile. Exile effects are pretty good for a mill deck against us. But let's get our Legis ready on. They're gonna need to cast multiple spells. And if we can cast 3 spells in a turn, we would just wreck them. Yes, play a land. No 6 for me. That's a Phoenix. Alright, we want to draw, right? I think we want to draw. And I think this is a better draw. I don't want Charter of Course. I said I don't want Charter of Course, you jerk. Alright, we'll discard a card. We'll kill one of your crab. Discard one of our Arclight. We get a land? We do get a land. Alright, we can toss the course. We'll toss the course. Play Spirebluff. Deal 3 damage to that. There goes both of your crabs. We get 2 Phoenix. I think our opponent just got blown out. Oh boy, that was insane. That was he didn't have no chance there. But that's what you get for playing mill against some mana that's full of graveyard, like graveyard synergy decks. I don't understand mill and explore. That's just terrible idea. Imagine if I was Absent Greasefang. I would have also capitalized on you milling my deck. Mill is okay in, I think, well, in standard, of course, mill is okay. And mill is okay in Legacy because your combo mill basically wins in 1 turn. But mill in this kind of slower style in a fast format is just not smart. Alright, we got 2 lands. Opponent goes first, but we got Prankster, so I'm gonna cautiously keep. This is okay. I can't toss the Arclight in any way right now, but I might get a Lava Axe or something. Is it Lava Axe? Lava Spike? Chedges? Is that your name? Chedges? No, sorry. Keep. Gilded Goose! Oh boy! Is that deck with the Amalia. So what do we do against that deck with the Amalia? Do we kill the... Do we bolt the bird? Or do we wait till he gooses? Bolting the bird is usually right. But if he has Amalia, I really can't stop it. I don't have enough removal in the deck. I have 8. Normally is a lot. Also, he gains a lot of life in that deck. That's painful. Oh, you get a veteran too. Yeah. Okay. We can charter a course here. We can toss our Phoenix in. I think we're... I still don't know. I mean, if they have it, they have it, right? So, we got a lot of slower cards, and if we had gone first, it would have been slightly different, but I still think, even if we gone first, it really is... It's depending on their deck. That's Convoke 2. To get their Amalia, we just die. Yep. I'm gonna need a lightning... lightning axe right now. That is not a lightning axe. Can we get a lightning axe? How many do I have? There's 3 in the graveyard. Not enough for Cruise, and this is what? Our turn 3. And we already spent one of our removal. Bolting the bird. Even if I had that, that's 4. I can't deal 4 damage right away. So, guess we'll have to hope that we get it. Top 2 cards. Top 2 cards. Top 2 cards? Or 4, huh? Yeah, I need to get it from the top 2 cards right now. Either way, it's top 2 cards, but I can put one in the graveyard this way. Spell Pierce. How useful is that? I guess I'll take it. I mean, if they try to Convoke here, I can Spell Pierce them. That's about it. Deal the Goose. Big board. I don't have Board Wipes. And I can't even Lava Axe that now, because it's going to be more than 5. So good. That's a lot of life gain. That's 6. Well, at least I know what he has in his hand, so he doesn't win outright. I don't have any bounces. I get Otawara. That's the only bounce I have. I guess I should have played Sleight of Hand there instead of Consider. I wanted to toss things in the graveyard. That's why it was there. But thinking back now, I'm kind of stuck with 1 mana that's not spent. I was really thinking, oh, this is an instant. Alright, so I always have to keep 1 mana open now because of that instant. Yeah. Never mind. We take 6, we go down to 10. That is not a spell that I can use. I have 6 in the graveyard, 1 is a Phoenix. So let's start with Sleight of Hand. Maybe I'll get something. Impulse is pretty good. What am I even burning though? This does 3 damage, right? There's 7 in the graveyard now. I can Sleight of Hand again. Malia is so big. And this, I gotta pay 3 life just to target it. I don't have life gain in the deck, so if I can't target it somehow, it just dies. Okay, I'm playing the Stormcarved Coast for sure. And I'm Sleight of Handing for sure, am I? Or am I... No, I am Sleight of Handing for sure. Otawara! Needed that. Okay, so now I can fight... No. How many do I have? They're not Phoenixes, right? Only 1 is a Phoenix. But the Fiery Impulse go down to a 2. That's not fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can't afford to attack here, but the Otawara is going to have to do the works. Alright, let's pass 2 blockers. We'll block here. He lets that go. It's not trample, so we're not quite dead, right? I want to Lightning Axe this. So I'm going to go down to 6, take 3, I go down to 3. Painful, but I gotta do it. Scar card. Deal 3 damage to this. Auto pay, go down to 6. Discard, discard. I'll pay 3 life. You can't gain enough life out of it. Right? I don't think you can. This is 5 damage. It's at 3 health. Alright. I can still cast 3. Right? Pick Prankster, Fiery Impulse, and Sleight of Hand. That is 3. So let's prank first. But that does mean I can't use the Ledger Shredder for me. No 4 cards. Alright, we'll return an op. Slightly better than Charter the Course. I'm not going to attack anytime soon. Then we will Sleight of Hand. Ooh, a cruise. Okay, I needed that. So do I want to cruise right now? No, I have 2 Phoenix in the graveyard, so I don't want to cruise. I want to fire Re-Impulse. Do I want to fire Re-Impulse, or do I want to just opt? I think I just want to opt. I might be able to draw a land that I can use here. Unlicensed Curse. What do they have in their graveyard? Do they have Reanimating in their graveyard? I guess they do. They're gonna get Collected Company on us. Oh boy, that's what's in their hand? Okay, GG. That's a GG. Alright, that's good enough. So when they cast that, they'll get that to gain life, and then that whenever they gain life, we lose life. It was close, but no cigar because we didn't get to go first. And that's, you know, that is how best of one kind of shapes out to be. But going first in that game, we would have won. I wouldn't say handily, but we would have a way better fighting chance, right? We're kind of short on mana every turn. So if we were going first, we would be ahead on mana every turn. And also, we will have the active play. Not a lot of removal in the deck, but just enough that we get to remove what we need. There are no mistakes, only happy accidents. You don't get to say that, Arena. That's just terrible. There are a lot of mistakes, mostly made by, you know, people who are just developing Arena. I guess they're not exactly mistakes if they're cheating you out of a win because they want their algorithm to work. Look at this. No lands. Where's your hand smoothing algorithm there? Huh? Alright, whatever. We're going to go first, so we get to lose a card here. That's fun. What do we put back? Jwari? Jwari's pretty good going first, but I think I need to play every other card, so guess we'll put back a Jwari and hope that we draw more lands. Why does Intertap? Another Urian deck? Alright, well, I don't like it, but guess I'll have to face the facts. Two Arclight Phoenix though in my opening hand. Painful because I'm not getting enough instant sorcery to actually cast them, and I don't have enough lands in the opener because I had the mulligan. It all depends on the next. Okay, I guess it doesn't depend on the next roll at all now. Leyline Binding. I don't draw a land here. I could try to draw a land, but I am so far behind from what I have on board here. I don't even think this is playable. I need to draw a land here, right? That is a land. They have a counter spell too? Alright, I'm gonna leave this. This game was crazy. There was no way for us to win. Our hand were terrible. Their hands were perfect. Well, our turn 1 was their turn 2 because we got to go first, right? So, oh no, our turn 2 was their turn 1. So when we got to our turn 2, their turn 1 was already Leyline Binding. And then they have exactly the counter spell to counter our next play. And then we didn't draw lands and 2 Arclight Phoenix in hand. It's awful. If I had a 4th land, maybe they'll counter our Phoenix. That's what we want them to do, but it's not what happened. BB Ninja! You gonna go first? We got Ledger Shredder going first, so I'm gonna keep. Good enough of a hand, but this Unlicensed Curse is Starting to bother me. Why is it always in my opener? Alright, not a turn on Thoughtseize at least. Not playing my Consider. Play my Shredder first. Hoplite. Prevent all damage that will be dealt to it this turn. That's interesting. So he's probably going to have two things to try to protect the Hoplite, right? And I can't deal 2 damage to it with any one card. So should I I mean, even if I consider, right, I don't have enough to deal damage to that. This is an instant, no reason to cast it right now, so we'll just end turn. Gotta go in for the damage. I thought about blocking here, but I decided against that because, you know, see what he does. If he plays 2 spells, he helps me connive, which I'm happy about. Homestead Courage. Nah. Wait, hold on a second. We'll resolve 1 first. That's just a land. Then we'll try to burn that. Does he have a protection spell? Probably does. Yep. Pretty good there. Can't stop that. Big attack. Big attack. Let's see. Do I want to discard my purse? No, the canal. I mean, I guess I'm discarding multiple cards anyways. This does 3 damage, right? Alright, that's a 4/5. Let's consider first. Maybe I'll get a mana. Not a mana. Sort of a mana. A Lightning Axe. A Hoplite. Autopay. We'll discard. We discard the Impulse. We discard a Hearse. I mean, is the Hearse really getting much done there against that deck? Yeah, let's discard Hearse. We get a Connive trigger. I don't want this land. I want to untap red. Now let's pay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hopefully I get an untap red. Steam Vents. That is an untap red. Get that out of here. I am at 8, but can I afford not to attack? I'll attack with this. Next turn I can attack with a bigger board. Another Hoplite. That's it? Just a bigger Hoplite? Alright, so I do want to play a tap land here. There's no reason to. Then if I play 2 spells, right, then he'll have to... Well, I get a Connive trigger. Then he'll protect the Hoplite, and then what do I do? Actually, don't have anything in the graveyard right now that's good. Oof, top decking lands. This does 5 damage. Let's go in. kind of protection spell does he have? Defiance Strike? That's really good, so... it gains Vigilance, but I don't think that matters as much. To resolve that, definitely don't need this. Oh, and gets Trample. That's really bad. Yeah, we got a 1/3 blocker. Now we can counter it. Gotta block it. Down to 3. Okay, can we do enough damage to that? Do I want to use Consider next turn? Oh boy. Okay, let's use Consider next turn. It could be something important. We'll start with our Sleight of Hand. Spell Pierce. That's not good enough, right? It's 6/7 Trampler, so basically we can't do enough damage to that without card drawing. And I don't think we get to wait till next turn to do anything, so let's use Sleight of Hand. Maybe we'll get something useful again. Is there a reason to do a second Sleight of Hand, or is it better to shoot off the Consider now? That is very good. No, I don't want that in my hand. Whenever you target, right? Whenever you cast. Okay, let's Sleight of Hand again. Yeah, that's 3 Phoenix attacks, GG. Or 2 Phoenix attacks with the Ledger Shredder. It was very important that we attack last turn. If we didn't do that, we wouldn't have lethal this turn. So, I guess we learn something every day. Always attack, even though you got blockers when you're playing against a Temple deck that is trying to get over the line. Just try to get over the line. So, yeah, that is a Phoenix. I think it's a very strong deck. I do think, because of Treasure Cruise, this is top of the top tier in today's meta. Just any deck with Phoenix and Treasure Cruise is just so good. Because this and this both require you to throw things into your graveyard. And that's what we want to do, just throw things into our graveyard. And the good thing about Arclight is that it doesn't care about anything else in your graveyard. As long as she's in a graveyard or it's in a graveyard, it's good enough, right? And then the Treasure Cruise exiles everything else as it delves. So as you toss things in the graveyard, trying to get Arclight in there, Treasure Cruise is getting us the draws that we need. So a lot of the games that we saw today, basically we were able to win because we can dig through a lot of the decks. It is not an infinite combo. It does not dig through your entire deck in one go, but it dig through so much that you saw in that first game where we drew, I don't know, like 40 cards or 45 cards in our deck. And then by that point, we will have 4 Phoenix in the graveyard. Anytime we cast 3 spells, 4 Phoenix comes out, deals damage, kills our opponent. That is the idea of the deck, the combo of the deck. It's very fun to play with. It's got a lot of, tricks to play with it. I would say that if you really want to, probably cut 2 Chart of the Course and put 2 more Ledger Shredder in. And if you are absolutely confident that you're going to play all the games that, same games that I've played, you're not going to mean any mono black. You're not going to mean any graveyard synergy like Abs and Grease Fan. You can cut the Unlicensed Hearse and put in those Chart of the Course. Or you can cut 1 Unlicensed Hearse and have 3 Chart of the Course, 4 Shredder, 1 Unlicensed Hearse. That also works, right? Just kind of play around with those cards. These are the 3 cards I think that are interchangeable. Choices can be made there. You can also cut maybe the Jwari Disruption for another Spell Pierce. I never see the Jwari Disruption come down as a land, and I don't see how often that would happen because this deck is pretty fast. So maybe you can have 2 Spell Pierce, but that's still questionable. The way the current deck runs, I think it's very streamlined and works very well. And yeah, I really like this deck. That's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me on this Friday Night Explorer, and I will see you guys next time.